Welcome back to Orchid House. I'm Olivier in Fort Lauderdale, and today I wanted to repot this Cattleya loddigesii with you. It's a fairly recent acquisition. The plant is old. It badly needs repotting. I trimmed it off. I trimmed at least 50% of the root ball. I could do more. I don't want to do more because it needs to be stable once repotted. And after I trimmed all these old roots, mushy roots and dead roots, I sprayed with hydrogen peroxide pure. So it's a go-to way to avoid diseases. And then I also sprayed, as you can tell, powdered cinnamon because it's an antifungal. And so I typically, whenever I cut anything, I do both peroxide and cinnamon. In this case, obviously, it's pretty extensive. So this is Cattleya loddigesii A-Doribil. It's an FCC. So I bought it 3 months ago, I think, or maybe 2 months. It's very recent. It's an old plant. It badly needed repotting. I mean, so there were. I trimmed a few of the old, completely dehydrated bulbs. There were weeds growing. But this is an FCC, so Doribil is Biltom's clones. The flower is spectacular, really beautiful. The FCC first class certificate is the highest award you can get from the American Orchid Society. I believe it was 91 points, so I knew I was buying something special. Now this is a bi-foliate Cattleya, and all bi-foliate Cattleyas are extremely resentful of repotting at the wrong time. And there is one single right time to repot a bi-foliate Cattleya is when you start having new root growth. Any other time and you risk losing your plant. I'm talking about species here. Obviously, if you have a hybrid, those are more tolerant. So this is a species, loddigesii. And I have one new growth here, and it already has a pretty substantial root here, so it's high time to repot that, because the worst thing would be to damage that new root. I have another potential new growth here, although it looks a little weird, I'm not sure. And then the third one here, which is definitely a go, over there. Yeah, right there. That it hasn't started producing roots yet, but so this is among the bi-foliate Cattleyas. Typically they bloom and then they start roots and then they go dormant. This is a smaller group which starts produce. So there are new leads first, new bulbs, and then they start rooting right away. So now is the time to repot it, no other time. That's what we're going to do together. Overnight I prepared my medium, which is basically large chunks of Orchiata bark, Orchiata from New Zealand, which is the best one. This is a good plant, so I want to give it the best medium I have. Lasts longer. I don't want to repot too often, so surely not every year. I'm hoping 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 if I'm lucky. There's also some charcoal in it. Want to damage anything there. There's charcoal and there's perlite to aerate the medium. The charcoal absorbs excess salts when you fertilize, so that's the mix I use. I forgot to put my gloves on, I always do that. And then in terms of positioning in the pot, you really try, because the plant is going to grow and you have to figure out which way it grows. In this case, I mean, it seems to be growing in different directions. There's this side of the plant and then the other side. So I mean, sometimes it only grows on one side, and then you put that one side in the middle of the pot. Here it's going to be a little bit more complicated, but I can tell for sure, because this is where the older, tiniest bulbs were. This side is basically not growing anymore, so this one is going to go right against the pot, and then the other sides where there is growth, hopefully is going to grow towards this side, and I'm going to have the light facing this way, so hopefully it's going to grow this way. So let me see, I forgot, I always put some cocoa fiber at the bottom, prevents chunks from falling from the bottom, and it's also another good thing to have. Let's see, and I hope I have enough. I may not. Okay, so this is the section where there is no growth, so this is going to go against the pot as much as possible, as the edge of the pot, sorry. And then, so this is what I don't want to break over there. It's the most delicate part. Not going to be easy. That pot is, well, it's good enough, but okay, now I fill the gaps. So I try to stabilize it. I definitely don't want to damage that root over there, so that's where I need to be extremely careful. That root is over there. There's another little root here. I didn't show them to you, but they were roots growing on older roots, so there were tiny bits of new root growth, so that shows the plant is really healthy. And I know for sure that this is the right time to repot it, so it's now or never, otherwise I'll have to wait another year to do it. Try to stabilize it as much as I can. The delicate part is here, where we have that new roots. I want to be very, very gentle. Can't even see it now. Where is it? Where's my root? Yeah, there it is. Okay, well, I'm good. All right, so roots there. This is fine. So loddigesii is a species that's smaller stature. It's not a leopold, it's not a tigrina, it's not a empty stoglossa, guttata, so it's not a huge plant. It also will tolerate colder temperatures than most of the other bi-foliate Cattleyas, and it can even take less light than them, although it's always best to give as much light as possible. Okay, so let's see here. I'm trying to see if it's stable enough. I believe it is. My root over there is not damaged, so mission accomplished. So another growth here. So yeah, I'm gonna try and hopefully have them grow this way is possible. Where was the third one? I had a third pass. Yeah, here. I don't know, this doesn't look right, so I don't think that's gonna give you anything. Okay, that's it. So crossing fingers, but it should be good to go. And again, it was the right time because there was new root growth. This is a species, so they are very intolerant. I'll probably put some stakes here for presentation purposes and leave space. That's it. Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye bye.